Welcome to Dear Dilemma, where you send in your dilemmas and we answer them. Do you need an outside perspective?
Advice anonymously?
We're here to help. I'm Brooke.
And I'm Hannah.
And this is
Dear Dilemma.
Today's episode is brought to you by Urban Beauty.
Urban Beauty offers spray tans, body waxing, professional makeup, brow services, and lashes. Make sure to follow them on Instagram. Their link is provided in the description below.
Also, after today's video, one lucky winner will win one spray tan, one facial, and one brow tint by the fabulous Haley Durham. In order to win, you must be following Urban Beauty on Instagram, and you must also like, comment, or subscribe to our video today. Welcome back to Dear Dilemma. We have something special in the works for you guys today.
We have a double tea week.
Double tea week.
We're going to be ready to sip, sip, sip.
Not only are we reading a few submissions today, but we're also going to be reading a few submissions on our video that drops Thursday.
We really just want to thank everyone for the outpouring support and the amount of submissions that we received. We're really excited to be able to share these with you guys. Again, this is 100% anonymous. Brooke and I don't even know who is saying what in these submissions, but we're really happy to try to help and provide support. And again, we're just trying to build this community of support for everyone.
We say the tea, but really we want to help. It's not, we don't want
it sounds like gossip, but it's really not.
No, we're here to help support, and we're here to help answer your question and hopefully help those who are just watching as well, assist in any, dilemmas that they may have. So with that being said, Hannah, drum roll, please.
Right. Let's get started with our first submission that we're going to be reading. Okay. Hi. I have been with my partner for over 10 years, and I feel like we are just roommates sometimes. He works nonstop, striving to reach his financial goals, while I am focused on my career, but have been feeling such a lack of connection with him. I want to try to ignite the spark again, but then I get frustrated that he isn't trying, so then I just don't try. I know, petty of me. Not really, girl. No. But I do feel like I need to do something and put in the effort as well, because nothing changes if one of us doesn't make the first move. So true. Sorry, I love that.
Yes.
Any ideas on how to spice things up or how to initiate a conversation about how I'm feeling?
Okay.
We struggle to communicate nowadays because we are so distant and distracted.
Been there.
Yeah. I have a lot to say on this topic, actually.
Been there before. First off, do not feel like you're being petty at all or feel like you're being annoying about it, because I know personally in my relationship, I have been there. I'm sure, like you said, you've been there before. It happens. Anyone that has been together for a long amount of time, you're going to get stuck in those, I like to call them your comfort zones, because you get stuck in your daily schedule, and they have their schedule, and then you're at home and you guys might be separated in different rooms, or you might have different activities going on, and that just becomes your new normal, your comfort zone. And then you realize, wait, this isn't what happened to date night or whatever this may be. And
you kind of get stuck in just going through the motions, I think, with that person.
Yeah.
But I love that you're asking about how to mix things up and how to have that conversation with him, maybe, because I mean, I will say, I think us as women are kind of guilty sometimes of just thinking that our men can read our minds, and they
can't not.
They have no idea what's going on. I remember a pastor one time giving a speech, and he was talking about how men have this nothing box. They can just go to a nothing box, and I thought that was hilarious. And I'm like,
so funny.
Girls have 20 tabs open in their brains at all times.
Oh, 100%.
You know,
100%.
so
it sounds like you both are busy too.
Yes,
because she's saying like she's got her things.
They're both really driven. It sounds like they both have their own things that they're striving for.
And it sounds like you're both busy. I mean, she may have her thing, he's got his thing. It sounds like so.
Yeah,
it's easy to get stuck in that. Like I said, the comfort zone. It's easy to get stuck in your day-to-day. It's the everyday, day-to-day, and how to, change it up and get back, or like you said, have that conversation. And I know it can sound scary, and it almost like I have been there before in my relationship where it's like he's doing his thing, I'm doing my thing, and I feel this almost like that gut not that gut feeling, but like you're going to the principal's office because you want to have that conversation of how can we change it up.
Yeah, but you don't really know how to initiate that. And I think one of the things that I have done in my own relationship, so I've been married for 5 years and with my husband for 7 total, so not quite 10, but we definitely go through those points in time too. And usually I try to make it more about myself in the sense of saying, I know I've been distracted. I know that I'm disconnected from you.
Oh, okay.
So I kind of place the blame on myself, which I think opens the door to allow that conversation to happen, because at least you're recognizing and not placing the blame on him. So even though you might feel like he's the one that's guilty, I think it's nice to just say like, hey, I've been the one, like I've been really focused on my career. I've been distracted. I feel like, I'm being disconnected from you. How can we get back to having a date night or something like that?
Yes. And I've had that conversation and I was guilty. I put the blame. I'm like, you never do this. And that is my fault. And I'm trying to work on myself. I should probably go to therapy, to be honest. But here we are. We're going to wing it.
We all need Jesus in therapy. I'm just going to say that.
Yes. And so for me, after having that conversation, and we just literally just talked about this the other night and said, hey, we should probably get back to having our date night once a week, because then you have it on your calendar for both of you with your busy schedules. And like every Wednesday we're going to dinner or we're going to do something. And it's on the schedule. I know sometimes your town may not have a lot to do, but you can find something to go out of town or even change it. Like maybe every Wednesday is your date night, but you want to go do something elsewhere in another city, make that your Friday or Saturday. But one important thing is put it on your calendar, put it on their calendar as well.
And have that quality time, like that uninterrupted time with your partner. Yeah. So whether that be you make a rule at the dinner table, like everybody, you two flip your phones upside down. The first person to reach for it, like, has to do maybe something spicy.
Oh, I was going to say, give up a massage because my back hurts all the time.
Well, she said, how do I spice it up? So I was just trying to address that part too.
She's trying to put some cinnamon in her tea over here, so to spice it up a little bit.
I don't know. She asked.
That is true. That is true. I mean, you do need to get things little spicy or just like fun, or like you pick up your phone first and you have to do the dishes, and we all know no one wants to do the dishes, or you have to buy me ice cream for dessert or something like that, which again gets you out of the house and gets you together. So for sure I suggest put it on your calendar for both of you. Initiate the talk. How did you say that again?
Just placing the blame on yourself in the sense of like, I know I'm the one that has been distracted or XYZ.
That's how you can open up your conversation. And then suggest a day that works well for both of you. And depending, I guess, on what your careers too. I mean, I know some people are stuck in the office, some people are remote. Depending on what your careers are, you could also even set one day a week to maybe have breakfast together or lunch and meet somewhere. I know that kind of varies because it's very like some people are fully in office, some people were remote, some people are self-employed. So it kind of changes, but that's what I would suggest.
Yeah. I also want to key in on something that I would actually have a huge suggestion for. If you guys have not heard about the 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman, there's a book out there. You haven't heard about it?
As a reader, I should probably know that.
It is such an amazing book. And actually, when I met my husband, I was floored. He had actually already read this book. And I thought that was so amazing because we initially, one of our first conversations when we first started dating was, what's your love language? Which essentially tells you how your person receives love and how they like to give it. So the 5, I believe, is quality time, touch, words of affirmation, so like compliments, acts of service. And did I say quality time? There's another one I'm missing.
She doesn't know it. It's been 5-7 years since she's read it.
Gifts.
Oh, who doesn't like gifts?
So there are certain ways that you receive love. Like mine is a lot of acts of service, because if you do the dishes for me or you take out the trash, I'm like, whew, thank you, hubby. I love you. You're amazing.
She'll cook dinner 3 times this week.
It's the little things that matter to me so much. And but my husband receives love in a different way too. So I have to know that sometimes the way that I receive love isn't how he wants it. So I think that's really an important tool to have in your tool bag as a marriage or relationship. And then you might be able to do those little things. If they're words of affirmation person, maybe put a little Post-it note on the coffee maker in the morning, like, hey, I'm sure you look so beautiful today. I'm excited to see you later.
Yeah. Oh,
something like that.
Yeah, because if you're both busy and you don't have time, I mean, you have time in the morning or the night before to make that little note too, and then stick it wherever.
Yeah, love notes are cute. Post-it notes.
Yeah.
Any little things. I think when you've been together for 10 years, it's the little things that just make your life easier that you really recognize and resonate with more.
Yep. I also think too that you definitely want to keep, I think with our age and generation, day and age, I guess how I say it, is that social media can put such a divide too in your relationship because you see what other people are doing. And just remember, folks, everything you see on social media is not always 100% true. You can see the happiest couple and they've been together for years. I guarantee they're just posting happy stuff and they have issues behind closed doors because we all do. However, where our grandparents, they said we didn't have social media back then. So when we got in a fret or whatever it may have been, they figured a way out. So here's our solutions or suggestions, I guess I should say. What schedule on your calendar, the talk.
Yeah. Putting the blame on yourself.
I know
only
sometimes
for
it's
that
hard to do that, but it is kind of both of
just to kind of, it is, but
at least it was for me.
Instead of her wanting to just expect him to come to her, she can open up that conversation.
Yes. And then just try to find some fun ways. I mean, I'm sure there are so many like dating games you can buy that are like the scratch off tickets and you're like, here's a fun thing to do.
The adventure books,
I
think.
Something that just is a little bit affordable that you could do probably locally wherever you may live. And then, I think that's what's worked for us.
And find out his love language. Also, you don't have to read the book just for everybody to know. You can actually take the quiz online too. So the 5 love languages quiz.
I don't know what mine is.
And you can maybe find out what yours is and what your partner's is. And I think it's a huge tool.
Yeah. So we hoped that helped. And good luck to you in your relationship. I mean, 10 years or over.
Congratulations.
Yeah, that's a long time. Well, I guess mine has been 7 or 8. So we're almost there. But it feels like a long time. So good luck to you. And if you're ever, always write in and say, hey, we did this because we're interested. Follow up with us. And we want to know what worked well, how the conversation went. Or you can just say, hey, we have a date night and we're doing this and it has helped so much. And
absolutely. I would love to have a follow-up episode. That would be so cool.
And whoever's watching who may be in the same situation, that's our advice to you all as well. And maybe you've also are in a similar boat with your, it could be even friendship too. Like, besties. Get it together because look at us, like you said.
And maybe you guys have some other suggestions, especially, if we have any followers that have been married for a long time, write in or comment what some of your suggestions would be, what you and your husband or your wife has been able to do in order to make that bond stronger and go through navigating life like this.
Yeah. So we hope that helped and hopefully we hear a follow-up from you.
All right, we're going to go ahead and dive into our second submission for this episode. It says, the guy I like stopped talking to me because he doesn't want anything and I am struggling to move on. I feel like we've all been there before. I know I have.
Yes. Okay, so my first instinct, is, which I know is hard, but my first instinct is if they're not giving you attention, don't be giving them attention.
Mm-hmm. Don't chase them. Let them chase you.
That's what I was going to say. The moment you stop giving that boy attention, he's going to be coming right back for you. Or you stop giving him attention, and that means another door opens for someone else who is going to give you attention and who is going to want to be with you, that opportunity. Because you never know who's been waiting.
Absolutely. It could be somebody that you haven't even really looked at or explored. And not to say that you even have to move on to another person. No, I think moving on is hard in general. I actually went through a really bad breakup several years ago, and you're going to laugh at me. It was my dating myself era. So I took myself out on dates and did things that I enjoyed.
I don't hate that because I do that now.
I needed to explore more about who I was and
Oh,
what
yeah.
I enjoyed, what I liked, and
Yep.
what I needed in a relationship. Because I think at that point I didn't even know what I wanted or what I needed.
Yeah.
And so I spent a lot of time kind of getting to know myself and
Yeah.
doing things that I
Yep.
like to do.
Yep. And it's hard. So I would say we've all been there. We like someone, they don't like us back. And how do you move on because you want them to like you? But I think for sure guys want the attention. They like the girls chasing them. So I do think if you did stop talking to him.
And if he doesn't want anything and your intention is that you want something serious, I know there are a lot of people out there that don't want anything and don't want any seriousness behind the relationship. That's fine. Everybody does their own thing. But I think it is important at the end of the day, if your long-term goals are to get married or to have a serious relationship, to date to marry.
Yep.
And I know that's kind of a Christian viewpoint, so I know not everybody might agree with that, but I do think it's important to have that intention behind it. Otherwise, you're kind of wasting your time, or you're wasting the other person's time too.
Yep.
If you already know it's maybe not what's meant for you, or you guys aren't aligning on the same playing field at the same time, then...
And it's also good to know, and I don't know how long that your situation has been going on for. We don't know if this is like a long talking stage or whatever it may be, or short.
Yeah.
But like you said, you don't want to waste your time. And it depends, I think, too, in your... Well, no, it doesn't. I was going to say, it depends on what, like, age, where you're at in your life, like whether you're in high school, college, or adult. No, it doesn't. Actually, I agree with everything that you said. Date yourself. You got your friends. You're going to end up finding someone else. Yes, it sucks right now, but maybe it's the Scorpio in me. I always say this. Bye. Like, that's how I am. See you later. If you don't want me, gotta go.
Yeah.
Because I want to find somebody that wants me around, wants to love me, wants to, like, be with me. And it sounds like if he's not the one, you're going to find someone better. I promise you.
Yes. You might not feel like that.
Yeah.
Right now, you probably feel like it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
And I totally understand that. Like I said, I think you and I have probably both been there quite a few times. And when somebody that you really like and you want something with doesn't return that, it sucks. Yeah. It really sucks. Girl, and it's hard.
Treat yourself, okay?
Yes.
Go out there, treat yourself, block his number, block him on social media, go do what you want to do, go buy things you want to buy, go have a fun girls' night.
Yeah.
If you don't want to go out, that's okay too. Have a fun girls' night in, or don't. Read a book like I do, and that is fun for me. But you put your happiness first. And it sounds like he is not, he's taking that away from you.
He's kind of playing games.
I said, treat yourself.
Yes. And learn to love yourself.
Yes.
You know, you have to love yourself before you can truly love somebody else. So maybe you need to do some self-exploration.
And maybe during that self-exploration, Mr. Right will come through.
Yes.
And
when you're least expecting it.
Yes.
Do you know, when I was in my date me era, that's when I met my husband. I was totally swearing off men at the time. And you know, everybody, because I was like, I just want to enjoy me.
7 years later.
I'm learning myself. I know what I want. I was really focusing on my faith at the time. I also said I was like kind of dating Jesus because I wanted to grow in my faith too in that moment in time. And then here comes my husband, just all persistent and super nice and wouldn't leave me alone.
So I'm promising you that you block him, delete him on everything. Not only will he be crawling back, but you could potentially be finding someone else. And if not, you love yourself, and that pain of like wanting him to want you will eventually go away. I can guarantee you, and I can promise you.
Absolutely. So, you will be happier.
That's our advice.
Also, drop comments below. Again, tell us.
For both of these.
Yeah.
Yeah, both of our anonymous dilemmas.
Yes, and Brooke and I are just kind of talking about these types of things. You know, our advice is not professional, obviously. Our advice is just things like if you were our girlfriend or one of our guy friends or something and you write in, how do we want to talk to you as a friend? What would we tell you?
Yep.
So it doesn't have to be anything professional.
No. There's nothing that makes us qualified, like degree-wise, to say... Like,
this is our advice. You need to follow it.
I have a PhD. I'm a therapist. No, this is like girl to girl.
Yeah.
Whatever it may be, cousin to cousin, however. And well, more girl to girl, because again, this is 100% anonymous, and these are conversations that you may not want to have with your family, or friend that's close to you, because they might say something that you don't want to hear. We're here to help give you the real advice.
The 411.
100%. So we hope you enjoyed this week's episode, and stay tuned for Thursday, as we will be dropping another double dose of dilemmas and tea. Thank you.
And we will also be drawing a winner.
Yes.
So stay tuned. Please make sure that you follow Urban Beauty on Instagram and that you like, comment, or subscribe.
And not only are we doing not just one giveaway, but for the next 2 other episodes, we'll have 2 more giveaways. So Thursday, there will be a whole brand new giveaway. And then the following week on Tuesday, we will also have 1 more giveaway by the very gracious and very talented team at Urban Beauty.
You guys, just for the record, this is 3 giveaways.
Yeah.
For the next 3 episodes.
I want to win.
I do too.
Okay. Actually, Lindsay did my brows today. Thanks, girl. Love them. They look great. So we hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for next week.